girls, welcome to Sunday School. Today our lesson is about Jesus calling the disciples, inviting them to join him in his ministry, to follow him. It's found in the book of Matthew, chapter 4, 18 through 22. Now, these first 4 disciples that he calls were all fishermen. Now, maybe you have gone fishing sometime. And maybe you have a fun fish story. I have a fun fish story to tell you, to share. When I was first married, my husband and I went down to Norfolk, Virginia, to the pier, and he was going to teach me how to fish. And he put my worm on my line because, of course, I didn't want to touch that yucky worm. And I threw the worm out into the water, and he's putting his on his, getting his line all set up, and I'm like, how do I tell if I have a fish? And he goes, well, you're going to feel a little tug. And I was like, I think I have a fish. He's like, Joy, you just threw it in. You don't have a fish. I was like, yeah, I think I have a fish. And so I reeled it in, and sure enough, I had a fish on the line. So he takes it off, he puts it in the bucket, he puts another worm on my hook. I throw it out there, he goes to get his. I'm like, I think I have another one. He's like, you just threw it out. I was like, I think I have another one. I reeled it in, sure enough, I had another one. I must have caught like 6 or 7 fish. They weren't huge fish, they were little Norfolk spot, but we had enough for a meal. It was really kind of funny. I caught them before he could even catch one. I caught like 6 in a row. So that's my fish story. Maybe you have a fun fish story too. These were fishermen. They were actually fishing for much bigger fish, I think. And Jesus came to them on Lake Galilee. So hear these words from Matthew chapter 4, verses 18 through 22. Now Jesus was walking by Lake Galilee, and he saw 2 brothers, Simon, called Peter, and Simon's brother Andrew. Now the brothers were fishermen, and they were fishing in the lake with a net. Jesus said, "Come, follow me. I will make you fishermen for men." And at once Simon and Andrew left their nets and followed him. Jesus continued walking by Lake Galilee, and he saw 2 other brothers, James and John, the sons of Zebedee. They were in a boat with their father Zebedee, preparing the nets to catch fish. And Jesus told them to come with him. And at once they left the boat and their father, and they followed Jesus. Let's join our friend Carly as she wonders about this fun story.
Greetings, it's Carly. In our story today, Jesus is walking along the Galilee Sea. As he is walking, he invites 2 different sets of brothers to join him on his journey. First, he calls for Peter and Andrew, and then James and John. They were all fishermen who were out working when Jesus arrived. All 4 of them stop what they are doing and join Jesus when he tells them to come and follow him. These are Jesus' first disciples. A disciple is someone who chooses to follow Jesus and his teachings. When Jesus tells them to come follow him, he says, "I will show you how to fish for people." Wait, huh? How do you fish for people? I know you can use worms to catch fish, but how do you fish for people? Maybe you put out pizza, or candy, or toys? I think what Jesus meant was that he'd teach them how to bring people together with his teachings. Jesus taught about love and community, and he wanted to spread that message. One of my favorite things to do is have my friends over at my house. My mom taught me that one way I can show love is by inviting people who don't have a lot of friends to hang out or play. I found that it's really fun, and it makes them feel included. It also helps us make new friends and learn new things about each other. It's important for everyone to know that there are people who care about them. This is my way of bringing people together and following Jesus' teachings. Jesus told the disciples to go out to different places and build communities so that people could come together and hear his teachings about love. All types of people are invited to follow Jesus. We get to help build a community where everyone is included. So, if you want to fish for people, don't use worms. Try showing care. and help people feel included. That's what Jesus did, and that's what he invited the disciples to do too. Now, it's time for you to wonder.
So boys and girls, I have something fun for us to do today. In the packet that I sent you, you are going to find something a little strange. You're going to find a little, it looks like a little plastic thing. You'll be like, what did Mrs. Joy send me? So what I want you to do is you're going to open it up very, very carefully. This is something kind of fun. And you have to promise me when you open it up, it might stick together, so you just have to loosen it up a little bit carefully so it doesn't tear. But these are fish flingers, and it's like a little fish. It says Jesus on one side, and then on the other it has like a little slit in there. What you actually do is you stick your finger in, and you can pull on the tail, and you can shoot them at things. Okay, you can fling them at things, but you have to promise me that you, first off, let mom and dad know what you're doing, and secondly, do not shoot them at anything breakable. Do not shoot them at your little brother or your little sister, okay? But what I challenge you to do is to create a game, something fun that you can do with these little fish flingers. So you might take some paper and maybe make some paper targets, maybe even cut other fish shape and put numbers on them and see, maybe you can take turns with your brother or your sister and see who can get the most points. I know my children would probably have lined up all their action figures, and they would, see how many they could knock down with them. And that would be something fun that you could do too if you wanted to. You could set up some buckets or some cups and see if you could fling them up and get them to land inside. But again, make sure that you are safe with them. We don't want to break anything, and we don't want to hurt anyone with our fun fish flingers. We want to have fun with them. So feel free to take a picture and show me what you've created with your fun game. And then there are some other activity sheets and things in our packet that you can enjoy this week. I hope that you guys have a very blessed week and stay safe. Bye.